Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we're going to be reviewing the Play Arts Kai Arkham City Dark Knight Returns skin Batman. Now this is technically from the Arkham City game, and I never used this particular skin in the game, so I'm assuming that's why it's all textured, because in the cartoon it was, or the animated movie, and as far as I know in the graphic novel, it is completely smooth. It's standard Batman type attire, but in this he has like a weird texturing throughout the cape, definitely texturing throughout the bat symbol or bat logo, and then he's got texturing throughout the outfit too, so I'm assuming it's like that in the game, so I'm not going to complain about it. I thought I wasn't going to like the texturing, but it looks fine. You get used to it almost instantly, so that's okay with me. He stands 9.5 inches tall. He's one heck of a bulky figure. As you can see, he's definitely a very stocky sculpt, and he is tall, so he's pretty heavy. I'd say maybe 2 pounds, about 2 pounds, which is pretty big for a figure. He's actually one of my favorite Batman figures from the Play Arts line. They did a really good job in execution. A couple nitpicks I have though. I'll just point those out right now. One, I don't like that they used black ball joints, ball hinges for the elbows, because they only connect to gray parts, so that's not the most ideal looking design. His nose is extra pointy. It sticks out a lot, so I wish the nose stuck out a little bit less, but otherwise the head looks really good. And the last complaint I have is kind of a complaint and a good thing. The good thing is that the cape is one solid piece, so it looks fantastic. The other Batmans have all had split capes, but the problem is this cape is not posable in any way. It is soft, but you can't actually pose it. It doesn't have the hinges in there. So if you put the legs out to be more of an action pose, just obviously that's not an action pose, but if you put them out to the side and bend them or anything, the cape is too long and it'll stick out below the feet, and you'll have trouble making him stand up properly. So that's a bit of a problem for me. Otherwise, this figure is one heck of a figure. I really do like it, and I'm going to say right off the bat I recommend it. He comes with 5 hands in total, 2 fist hands. Those are the ones that he comes with in the packaging, or that comes on him in the packaging. Nice sculpt, nice bluish dry brushing over the black. He has one hand like this, which is kind of just like a semi-open hand. I imagine that's supposed to be for holding the batarang grappling hook thingy. We'll get to that in a second though. One more open hand like this, nicely sculpted, and then one hand holding his 4 little batarangs, which is really cool looking. They are sculpted in, unfortunately, but it's still pretty cool. And then the batarang grappling hook thing is this right here. It's made out of a softer material, but it is sculpted as you see it, so it's going to be held with 2 hands like they did in all the promo pictures, like he's getting ready to swing it and throw it. Or what I like to do is, how did I do that, is put it like this and have him hold it in one hand, which it's kind of tricky, but you can do it, and it looks like he's just holding it ready to use it, but not quite yet, which makes for some cool poses, so I do like that. Let's look at the figure in closer detail though. The paint application throughout is really good. It's dark with a lot of dry brushing to show the texturing throughout the cape, the gray parts, the bat symbol. Everything is just painted really, really well. There's nice texturing. There's no real glossy parts other than the elbow plastic, but that's just the plastic joint. And it looks really good. It's one of the ones that they've really done well. I'm really pleased with it. The head articulation's pretty good. It's good enough to put it in any pose you want, but there is a bit of a gap, so it could have been better, I guess, but it's fine with me. The face looks phenomenal. The eyes are a bit wide and the nose a bit pointy, but that's pretty much how he looked, so I'm okay with that. The paintwork is really good on there. You can see the detail in the eyes and the stubble in the face. Just really, really well done. The neck is technically articulated, but it doesn't do much, so I'd rather they just sculpted that on, I think, because it doesn't have enough room to lean even, so what's the point? These are soft. They're not glued in perfectly square on mine. That one's over there, and that one's over in the center. Not a huge deal though. These are soft, so you can still use the shoulder articulation pretty well. They're separate from the back so that it doesn't get in the way when you have to move it. Like I said, the cape is connected to the body, unfortunately. Shoulders do have the butterfly joint built in there, you can see that. And then it has the ball hinge on top of that butterfly joint. So it's kind of stiff, but it is there. Not going to force it too much, but it does have the ball hinge, bicep swivel, The arms are really stiff because they're really bulky, so be careful when you're using them. The ball hinge that they're known for on the Play Arts figure, so it's ratcheted, and then it swivels at the top and bottom. One thing I should probably point out is that the forearms tend to pull out of the ball hinge just a little bit. I'm not sure why, but you can just push them right back in. They're nice and stiff. And then the wrist has the same articulation as the elbow, so that's pretty cool. The torso is on a double ball peg, so full swivel, and then you can lean it. Can't lean as much as I would have liked, but that's due to the bulk, and you can definitely get enough poses out of him to be okay. The abdomen section is connected on a ball peg to that upside down T-joint that they use for their groins. This is a floating piece, so it won't get in the way too much, but the abdomen itself has a good range of motion, and you can twist it and pretty much do whatever you want. I do have to point out in a good way that this floating groin piece is the best I've seen on any Play Arts figure. It doesn't look out of place at all. It fits the figure perfectly. The hips are not too wide as is common on these figures. It just looks really great. They did a good job painting it as well, but that's a separate issue. The only problem, I guess, with that is that it fits so well. It's a little bit more restrictive than some of the others, but not so much so that it's a problem. The hips ratchet to the side and forward, and then they rotate on the ball peg as well. Double jointed knee. Pretty good knee articulation. Usually it's pretty ugly from this company in the knees, but they're getting better as they keep going, so I'm okay with that. The ankles have the same articulation as the wrists. The peg shoots out at an angle a little bit so that you have an ankle rocker built in, even though you can just rotate it and use that. And it has a cut joint like the Soda figures, the Soda Street Fighter figures. I don't like that particularly, but it is there. So he's got all the articulation you could want. The shoulders are a bit stiff, but they do work, and he's just a fantastic figure. So 100% recommend him. If you have any like for Batman, you will like this figure. There's really, any of the complaints I mentioned are not enough to not get this guy. You can get him for pretty good price on most online retailers. If you can find it in a comic shop, that's cool too. But for some reason, he's going down in price, at least it seems to be, and the other Batman figures are going up. So if you want to get one of these guys, go ahead and pick them up. You won't be disappointed. You can probably get them for a really good price. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, some custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.